Hey everybody, this is Jewelyn. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to my intro. In today's video, I finally get to share with you how crazy I went the beginning of June when I finally allowed myself to leave the house to plant shop. I don't know if it had something to do with me sheltering in place for 2.5 months, but I went a little plant crazy, and I think this might be a record-breaking plant haul for me. I think over a course of 3 days, I allowed myself to just purchase whatever I wanted in California, and I purchased I think over 20 something plants. And I've shared so many cool plant hauls on the channel, so I decided to break up the plant haul into 2 episodes. So enjoy part 1 of today's video. Hey everybody, this is Jewelyn. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to my home here in Santa Monica, California, and welcome to the biggest plant haul on the channel. Maybe not too sure. I might have gone this crazy during like my birthday month of August in previous years, but over a course of a few days a month ago, I went plant crazy. Maybe it was because like I wasn't buying plants over the course of the lockdown that I decided to just buy whatever I want. I'm not too sure, but the whole Tiffany blue table is filled with plant babies, and the original plant haul that I filmed a month ago, I'm deciding to not post that up, and I'm sitting down today a month later refilming the plant haul. All of the babies have been potted up in Planting with Jewelyn videos. I think I did 5 Planting with Jewelyn videos, so stay tuned for that. I'm sure they will follow after today's video. And so try to not look at the planters. If you see the planters, I will try to hide it down below here so you don't see how I started to gather them. I think I got all of them. It's hard because they were purchased a month ago, so hopefully I don't miss anybody. So far so good. Everybody's doing good except for one plant, and maybe I'll share that at the end so that you guys can leave your thoughts and comments down below. Why do you think the plant is not happy? So without further ado, let's get started. I really don't know where to start because there's so much, and I'm looking at it, literally the whole Tiffany blue table is packed and filled. Maybe let's start with one of my favorite plants, Tradescantias. So I have been loving collecting Tradescantias. You guys already know. I know a bunch of you guys have purchased Tradescantias from me, which is super cool to see the collection travel. I've been a huge fan of anything with pinks and purples. Tradescantia was pretty much goals at one point in my collection. It's not as full and lush as before. And then I came across the lilac Tradescantia. So this is what the lilac Tradescantia looks like. It's crazy. It's cool. I've been living in my bathroom, and you'll see in an upcoming Planting with Jewelyn, I think I might have dedicated one video of just planting up new house plants. This will be included in it. I am in love with this light pastel shade of purple. It is definitely lighter than the lavender, so I'm so glad I have both of them. I have lavender and lilac. Comment down below if you have this particular Tradescantia. Do you find it to be rare or common? As I peek through the trails, like how special is this plant? I'm a huge fan of lavender, lilacs, pinks, and when I seen this, I had to get it. There was no question about it. It's been doing good in the bathroom for the past month. I do have to trim off the few browning leaves here and there, but that's just kind of like a typical trait of Tradescantia. And I'm looking forward to hopefully make more babies with the fallouts. I will probably do a live very soon of repotting my Tradescantia rooted cuttings into soil so that I can get them in the greenhouse to make more space for more propagation. But this is one of my favorite Tradescantias in today's haul video. Very pretty, very stunning, and I just love the light colors. Contrast with like dark foliage around it. Super pretty, and it's currently living in the back. Different contrasts, Tradescantias, and I will do this 2 planters of the same plant so that I can group them up into a fuller planter, because if I love something that much and I see that there's more than one planter, I may buy one or two depending on the type of plant. So there was a Tradescantia that I came across. I've never seen it before. By the way, there's so many plants here. If any of you guys know the IDs, sound off in the comments down below. This Tradescantia was very interesting and it caught my attention, and with certain plants I will buy more than one to have a fuller pot, and that's exactly what I did with this one. I bought two and I planted them up together. They're nice and full. Let me share with you what it looks like. It is ganged up together. The blooms, as you can see, dry out brown, so I'm definitely gonna have to go through the plant and just clean it up. But if you see here, that is what the blooms look like. So very light white and purple. It looks like a combination of purple and white blooms, but they do die off pretty quickly and then they turn to like this brown color. So I'm gonna have to go through this plant and clean up all of the dry blooms. It looks like this, but doing super great. And this is living actually on the right side of me by the fountain, and I love the fact that I was able to get two. I'm gonna flip it in this direction. So if you look at the under, and I love the underneath of the foliage, like take a look at it. It is like a combination of purple and green. It warms my heart so much. So I'm really happy that I was able to come across this plant. I don't know the correct ID on it, and none of the plants actually in this haul video was labeled, so that's very unfortunate. But sound off in the comments down below if you know the correct ID on this particular Tradescantia. So very fun plant, and I have a few fallouts that I propagated in water. It's living in my home. The purple heart, and it's on the wider form. I know there's a lot of purple hearts that are very like thin like this, not as wide form as this. So I guess it depends on the grower, the mother plant. But this was living in a huge planter, looking very crazy and sad. It just looked like a hot mess, and I wanted to rescue it. And you'll see what I ended up doing to the plant and how I saved it. I did a trade with my subscriber. If you watch my weekend check-in in previous videos, we did a trade and she ended up getting 3 cuttings from this batch of cuttings. So if you see a plant that doesn't look amazing, it looks kind of sad, and you feel like you want to rescue it, take it. Something like Tradescantia, you can just cut it all off of the root ball, dump the root ball if you just think it's a hot mess. And it was like living in awful, I don't want to even call it soil, it was like dirt. I chucked that all away, and you'll see how I set it up in the upcoming Planting with Jewelyn. But I wanted to show you guys, look, it's like doing really happy. A lot of new growth here and here, and you will see in a future video how I was able to get the most of the plant, and I see lots of growth even down here, so that's very fun update. And hopefully this inspires you to pick up a plant that doesn't look at its best, and it's just kind of rewarding, you know, now that I see lots of great potential growth here. And once it gets more activity down below here, then I'll go ahead and set it up in an upcoming Planting with Jewelyn. But I love the deep vampy purple, just like pulls on my plant heartstrings from left to right. Sound off in the comments down below if you have the purple heart. Is yours on the narrow form or the wide form? And do you find it to be in good condition when you come across it in your area? Because this was definitely beat up and very sad looking. But if you're a plant enthusiast and a plant lover, you see the good and bad sides of plant life and the potential plant life, and this was one of them. So I purchased a house plant that I have gotten from 3 separate subscribers, whether gifted or through a trade. I love the plant a lot. I've never purchased it before, and I finally decided to purchase a Philodendron. And I want to say this is the Rio, because the Brazil has neon in it and there's no neon in here. So comment down below if you guys think this is the Philodendron Rio. Take a look at the striping. It is very, very, to me, Rio looking versus Brazil. Again, there's no neon in here, and it just has like that pale green and light yellow. To me, this is a Rio. So if that's the case, then I have 2 because I have a big Philodendron Brazil mother plant hanging on the front of my patio door, and then I have another one living in Leca, a small one that I purchased just as an experiment to do semi-hydro with it. I didn't want to do it with my mother plant, but doing good in the collection. And I think out of everything I got in this haul, this is like the only trailing house plants besides Tradescantia that I got. I think out of everything that I got in today's haul, this might be my only leafy type of plant besides my Tradescantia. So sound off in the comments down below if you think this is a Rio or a Brazil, but from what I see here, you look like a Rio, so I love it a lot. Maybe I'll propagate this one and then just not touch the ones that my subscriber gave me, because the one that I put together from all of my 3 subscribers is doing well, and I definitely don't want to touch it. But I have a big one here, so I definitely don't mind propagating from this. If you guys are interested in anything from today's video, reach out to me. I definitely don't mind sharing. Definitely do reach out to me on anything you see in today's video if you guys are interested. I definitely don't mind sharing, and I know a bunch of you guys have done that and have gotten a piece of the collection. I don't mind taking from my mother plant. My beautiful Senecio wax ivy. I have 2 ganged up together in one planter in my kitchen area, but when I brought this home, I thought I could put this one in there, make it fuller. And I come across this plant from time to time, big and traily, but I don't want to repurchase a big and traily one of this one. I not because I don't love this plant, but because like I'm okay to like just be happy with what I have. But certain plants, if it was like a ripsalis, then I probably would repurchase it if it was larger. This one I can wait. I was gonna combine the 2 when I did the planting with Jewelyn for this one, but this is on the darker side, the green, and my original one is on the lighter green, so it just to me personally wouldn't blend well. So I decided to plant this one up by itself. So stay tuned to see this one planted up in a planting with Jewelyn succulent video in the near future. I love it a lot, so I repurchased it again. I purchased this Senecio 2 years or so ago in Pasadena. It was long and traily, not this big, but trailing, and for whatever reason, and it was probably because I traveled and the rain got to it, it was not happy and it died. So I repurchased. Here's my repurchased baby. Definitely wider and bigger than my original one, but no trails to it. So, and this actually has a Caldex bulb. You'll see in a planting with Jewelyn, I share with you more of the plant, but I love it and I can't wait to see it trail on me. This is currently living by my fountain by the ferns, and I want to say it's doing good. I might change it and put it in the front of my house to see how it does there, but maybe it might be too much sun. But for now, it's doing good, living by the patio. My neighborhood bird is always in the background of my videos. Excuse him. Very happy with my repurchased Senecio, and please, Jewelyn, when it rains, this one has to be one of them that you have to bring in to save, because I definitely don't want this one rotting away, and it's not a common plant, so I would hate to see this one disappear in the future. So the birds here is crazy. This particular plant baby I ganged up with my original 2 sections, and both sections that I originally had were gifted to me from plant friends, so I never purchased the plant. Do you see a theme here? Just like my Philodendron Rio. So I purchased more of it. I'm just gonna show this much of it, and you will see me plant it up and gang it up together with my original ones. It's blended in. I love it. I'm waiting for it to bloom on me. And this is living in my patio, actually right behind me by Bob Marley, which there he is in the corner. I moved him in here because there's a lot of sun in that section now with the cleared patio. I'm sure with more sun it'll start turning really red, but it's been doing really good in the patio, so it's just gonna continue to live here. But I guess if I wanted to, I could put it in the front of my house somewhere by the ripsalises, and I just love it a lot. So more repurchased plant babies. And I think one of my subscribers also got cuttings from my original mother plant, and I have a lot to take from, so if you guys are interested, reach out to me, Planting with Jewelyn on Instagram. Another repurchased variegated baby. As you see, with a patio that is open and not covered. And then I travel and it rains a lot. The plants are in jeopardy, and my variegated Cressula ovata, my original one, smaller than the one that I repurchased now, died from the rain. And my subscriber in Temecula gave me cuttings from hers, which I still have. They're really small, but I wanted to get a bigger one. It is my beautiful repurchased variegated jade. I love this thing so much. It lives on my vintage wicker coffee table. I'll give it a spin so you can see the back side of it. And look at how big this trunk is. So I wonder how old it is. I have a thing for cressulas. I should do a cressula collective video in the future. Help myself. And I decided to repurchase one again. I think my original variegated jade I must have purchased like 3 years ago. And then it died in the rain. It was probably half the size of this. And I see it pretty often in California. It's not something I see in Las Vegas at all. This is definitely a California type of succulent. And I never repurchased it until now. And I love it a lot. I love the variegation of it. So wish me luck with this one. So far so good. But these succulents, guys, I rarely water them. Maybe like twice a month, maybe 3 times a month, no more than that. Like 2 to 3 times, that is it. So love my repurchase jade. Have a soft spot for Aeoniums. I got a bunch, and actually one is in Las Vegas, which you've seen on a weekend check-in. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and backtrack on my weekly check-ins. So one of them went to Las Vegas. One of them was purchased for my bestie Diana as her congratulations on your new baby gift. She has a very beautiful crested Aeonium in her home, and that is baby Kara's first plant. And I've never gifted a newborn baby a plant, so I hope that Diana will take care of it, and then Kara can, you know, take care of it when she's older, and it'll just like keep going. It'll be really nice. Sound off in the comments down below if you ever gifted any of your plant friends or anybody you know a plant for a congratulations on your new baby gift, because that was the first time for me and it was really fun and special. Now the ones that I kept for myself, I'll share with you. This first one looks crazy, so please be kind to it. I'm trying to rescue it and it's pretty rough looking, but I just couldn't help the blush pink of it all. I have a few that was looking kind of crazy. I mean, this whole thing is crazy, but there's few sections where I just kind of wanted to tidy up. In fact, I'm gonna have to go in with my pruning scissors and chop all of this up, so I'll do that maybe in an upcoming live. And the rest of this plant is living in the greenhouse. The chaotic mess of this Aeonium. Aeoniums are wild and crazy. They're definitely like living art pieces, and that's why I'm so attracted to them. And of course they're rosette shape. But this is what I kept in the planter. The rest is growing in the greenhouse because it just was like too wild and crazy. But I'm definitely gonna have to clean this up. This was looking pretty crazy when I bought this home, and I just felt bad for it. Look back here, do you see all the aerial roots? It's like, it's crazy. It's a crazy mess. I just couldn't help myself. I love the blush pink so much with like the green. It's just, hopefully give it a year under my care, and hopefully it'll start looking better. But I don't know, I'm gonna have to go through this plant again and start making some decisions and clean it up a little bit more. I think what I'm gonna do is give it some time to get acclimated in my space. It's only been with me for a month, but once it starts looking better, I might try to fix this up more, because right now it just looks like and I don't have it. So I decided to bring it home and add it to the Aeonium collective. Another Aeonium. You guys, this one is so cute. Aeoniums actually are not active really much at all in the summer, and they're really active in the winter, and you can definitely see the difference of the Aeoniums in the different seasons. So they're not as active in the summer, they go dormant. I love this thing. It's wild, it's crazy. When I bought it, it was already like this, which is unfortunate. I might cut it here to clean it up, maybe. Yeah, but for now I just planted it up, and this is kind of the look of it. Isn't it interesting? Like, take a look at it. It just looks like a prehistoric flower. I think maybe that's why I love Aeoniums. As you can see, it has tinges of red on it from being in the sun. This has been living in the front of my home with the rest of my hardier plant babies, succulents, and cacti. And I just love the different dimension that it brings into the space. So another fun Aeonium to add to the collection. I definitely don't mind taking like 1 or 2 from this mother plant. So if you guys are interested, reach out to me, because I know I actually just shipped out a bunch of Aeoniums to a subscriber yesterday after seeing it on, I think, previous videos. So that's pretty cool. I love Aeoniums. Very easy to propagate. Again, if you can propagate by the root ball like a Sansevieria, great. If not, cut it, callus it over, and root it that way. Very easy to root and very low maintenance too. You really don't have to do much to it. I water my Aeoniums like 2 to 3 times a month, like my cacti. Just very low maintenance. Another Aeonium. I love this thing so much. Look at the aerial roots. Crazy, right? The aerial roots are crazy, but it looks like eyelashes. So I don't want to cut it. This is definitely the characteristic of Aeonium, so I just let it be. I'm gonna have to go through the plant and clean it up. Artistic type of plant. And this one is living actually right behind me by my Buddha head. And I've been loving just the different varieties that are coming through the collection. I can go on and on about Aeoniums, but I'm just gonna leave you here with this beautiful one, and you'll see me plant it up in a planting with Jewelyn. I want to say I did a whole video dedicated to planting Aeoniums, which is pretty crazy. So stay tuned for that video. And look at all the little babies down here. I don't even want to know how old this plant is. By the look of this aerial roots, maybe 5 years old, I'm thinking. Maybe more than that. Comment down below, how old do you think this Aeonium is? Okay, so what do you guys think about the plants that I purchased in the first part of the haul? I know that was a lot of plants, and it came to a point where I just didn't know what to say. I just wanted the plant, and I love them all, and I purchased them. Let me know in the comments down below if you ever had one of those moments where you just allowed yourself to go out and plant shop and maybe give yourself some kind of budget and just went out and purchased whatever that made you happy. I don't know if it had something to do with me like sheltering in place and everything going on right now in the world. I have to say, one kind of therapy for me is plant therapy, and it was just nice to like go out and find something new and exciting to add to the collection. Not only do I enjoy plant shopping, but I love the process of being able to plant them up, which is also very therapeutic to me. It's just so nice to see the collection evolve over time, and they're like little treasures when I go out into the plant world and find some cool things to bring back into the collection. So I hope you found this very fun, just to see like what kind of plants I was able to find in California. I know they're probably definitely different from where you live in the world. Let me know in the comments down below, did you go plant shopping when your city started to open up and allow you to do things that you weren't able to do for the time that you were locked down, if you were in lockdown? I know it probably played a big part of me wanting to go out and plant shop, just staying inside of the house. I know I have a lot of plants already, so now when I'm purchasing my plants, I'm always thinking about the possibilities of the plant. If the plant is a giving plant, can I propagate from it? Am I able to sell, gift, or trade from the plant? That's definitely one thing I do think about. Or if it's a plant that I collect and the rarity of it, or if it's something that I might not be able to come across in the future, then I start deciding if I'm going to purchase it for the collection or not. So stay tuned for tomorrow's video where you see the rest of the big plant haul. If you're new, welcome to the channel. Subscribe for daily uploads between the main channel Monday, Thursday, and the vlog channel Friday to Sunday. You get a video each and every day. Until next time, aloha from Santa Monica, California. Bye.